Hi, welcome to Community Canvassing in Reach. I'm Rachel, here to help you make the most out of your Reach campaign. In Reach, every human interaction easily becomes an opportunity to canvass, gather rich data at scale, and instantly share that data with your campaign. Finally, eliminating the difficult choice of whether to spend resources on low yield efforts like door knocking or low data efforts like tabling events. You may have also heard this called crowd canvassing, street canvassing, or off list canvassing. But the basic idea is simple. Reach is like a search engine for your campaign's voter file. So anytime you meet someone out in your community, you can search and canvass them right there on the spot. All of your community canvassing work in Reach is done from the search screen. Let's check it out. The search feature in Reach is really powerful. It allows you to instantly look up any voter in your campaign or organization's voter file. So depending on the scope of your campaign, you could be searching just one district, a whole state, or even the whole country. You can use search to find a voter with as little information as part of their name or the address where they're registered. Let's say I'm at the farmer's market helping our campaign do some tabling, and this woman comes up to me. She's heard about our candidate and is excited to learn more about how she can support. So I ask for her name. She tells me it's Catlin Stark. So here in the name field, I'll type in Stark and tap search to see instant results from the voter file with a list of all the registered voters here in the Westeros district with the last name Stark. After confirming a few details, I can tap her name to open up her person screen. The person screen is where I can engage Catlin about our campaign and the issues that matter to her. While Catlin is here at our table, I can send data about our conversation right back to the campaign instantly. There's so much information I can collect and share here in the person screen. Let's start from the top. While we're talking, Catlin mentions that she prefers to go by Katie. I can add that name in Reach by using this button at the top of the screen. There are a few different options here for things like marking someone as contacted outside of Reach, adding a nickname, editing their name and address, or marking someone as deceased. The difference between the two name options is that when I edit a name, I'm actually changing the way their name will appear to all users in Reach. For example, if you're interacting with a voter who is trans and the legal name listed in the voter file is a dead name, you're able to override their first name so their preferred name is what appears whenever someone looks them up in Reach. Or in this case, I can just add a nickname that's visible only to me. I'm going to go ahead and add Katie since that's what she asked me to call her. I'm now having this great conversation with Katie. She's engaged and excited about our campaign. So there are a few things I can do to keep the momentum going. The first thing I want to do is add her to my network. In Reach, your network is your personal list of voters who you know and are committed to following up with throughout the campaign. In the Relational Organizing video, we'll look at how you can fill your network with voters you already know. But in this case, even though I just met Katie, I want to make sure I keep in touch with her, so I'm going to add her to my network. I just tap this button up here, and I can pick from a list of relationship types to describe how I know her. Of course, in this case, we just met, so I'm going to select Met While Organizing. Katie mentions wanting to know more about how she can donate to the campaign, but before I can send her the link, let's make sure we have a good phone number for her. I can head over to the Contact Info tab to save a phone number or email address she's willing to give me. I can already see some contact information for her here that was provided by my campaign, but she tells me that number is no longer active, so I'll mark it as wrong to let the campaign know, and I'll scroll down to add her new number. As I enter her number, I see a privacy toggle that allows me to decide whether I want to share this number with my campaign or not. In this case, I'm going to opt to keep her phone number private. Now that I have Katie's phone number and we're on a nickname basis, I want to send her a text right now while I'm still with her, with a link for her to donate online and so she has my number and we can stay in touch. When I tap the message button, I'll see a list here that says choose a script, where I can pick from contact scripts with pre-written messages that my campaign has provided. When I select a script, you'll see now that I get to decide how I want to message her. One option is to send a normal text message, so I'm sending a text straight from my own phone number in my phone's own texting app, where the script I selected has been filled in for me. I can also message her from another app like Signal, WhatsApp, or Facebook Messenger. This is one of those ideal relational organizing situations. I'm going to build a one-on-one relationship with Katie that will hopefully carry on beyond this interaction into future organizing work on this campaign and in our community. Back on the person screen, we can see some tags that have been applied to Katie. These tags give me a quick and easy way to import information about her, like the fact that she's a registered voter in District 4. I can tap on this plus sign to add more tags, like checking off when she lets me know that she's a union member. Now that I've added that tag, everyone else using Reach for the campaign will see it too. You'll notice that some tags are locked to Katie. That means that they were applied by the campaign and I can't remove them. Tags are totally custom to your organization and can be used to help identify voters in a variety of ways. Now let's explore what else we can do from the person screen. The first tab is where we can gather survey responses from the voter. The question at the top here is what we call the primary survey question, which usually reflects an organization's most important question. In this case, since we're volunteering for Danny, it's a support score assessment where I rank voters in a scale of 1 to 5 in terms of their support for our candidate. But like everything else, this question is fully customizable. Since Katie already told me she's super excited about Danny and planning to vote for her, I'll mark her as a 1 and tap Save. When I do that, you'll notice her whole background up here turns green. From now on, Katie will be color-coded as green throughout the app, so every time users see her in a list view or tap into her profile, they'll see she's a strong supporter of our candidate. A little further down here, we'll see even more questions the campaign wants me to get answers to when canvassing voters. Reach campaigns can have 6 different types of customizable survey questions, like this single choice question where I can pick one option, these multiple choice questions where I can select several responses, open text fields for notes or deep canvassing, a yes or no question, and numerical scale questions, which we're using here for issue-based surveying. If I switch over to the location tab here, I can see her address from the voter file, and then down below, I can see a list of every registered voter at that same address. Here's where I can make sure that not only is Katie on board, but her whole household is too. You'll notice that some member of the household already have a color bar next to their name. This bar corresponds to that same color code from our primary survey question. I can see here that Aria is not a fan and has a red bar, but Eddard here has not been canvassed yet, so I might ask Katie if we can count on Eddard's vote too, and when she says yes, I'll just tap into his profile and mark him as a 1 as well. If I want to learn more about Katie, I can check out this next tab where I can see her districts, her registration information, and more useful facts from the voter file. And here, I can even see her voting history from past elections. So now that Katie's engaged and excited, she told me she wants to volunteer for the campaign and Reach too. So next I want to invite her as a user. To do that, I can just tap this button here at the top of the screen to send her an invite text and add her as a user in my campaign. Katie has to go catch her bus, so we say goodbye for now, but we'll text more later. Congratulations, we've just canvassed our first voter in Reach. I bet you're wondering, what happens if I meet someone who I can't find in the voter file? Maybe it's someone who's not old enough to register to vote yet, or they live outside of your district. Well, anytime I encounter someone who's not a voter, I can still add them into Reach by creating what we call a Reach ad, and I can even use Reach to help them register to vote. So let's head back to the search screen and search for someone who just walked up to our table. Her name is Katniss Everdeen. I can't find her in search results, but I can tap this big blue plus at the bottom of the screen to bring up a form I can use to create a Reach ad. Her name is pre-filled for my search, but I need to add a zip code. I can provide a more detailed address if I want, and it'll even autocomplete from Google Places. I can also add a phone number or email address here with those same privacy controls from earlier. She'll automatically get the Reach ad tag instead of the voter tag, so I can easily differentiate her from someone who is already a registered voter. While I'm here, I can add additional tags, add her to my network, and even answer survey questions as I add her. Since I couldn't find Katniss in the voter file, but she is in my district, I know she's not registered to vote. But luckily there's a tool right here within Reach to help her get registered. Alright, let's pause here for now because we've covered a lot about community canvassing and Reach. If you still have questions about how to search, survey, and connect with voters you meet in your community, check out our knowledge base or ask the team for help at support@reach.vote. Next, we'll pick up where we left off and I'll show you how voter registration works in Reach. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.